What's up everybody, I'm Flying Scorpion, and today I'd like to talk with you about this new federal Corvette that I will be building probably later today. What you see before you is the current federal Corvette that I've been using. This is the ship that I've used to farm money in Elite Dangerous, and when I said I've made about 500 million per hour to almost a billion per hour, I think I did make a billion per hour with one good team. This is the ship that I used for most of that. I also used an Anaconda for this stuff, but this Federal Corvette I think is the best ship for what I was doing. So this Federal Corvette has long-range multi-cannons, which hit out to 8 kilometers, and it has some healing beam lasers. It also has repair limpets to repair my teammates, and a kill warrant scanner and long-range sensors, so I can detect targets like 12 kilometers away. And all of this stuff is helpful when you're playing in a team. It's very helpful for making sure that you get a tag on a target. So what that means is when your teammates start engaging in a target, you need to hit that target with at least 1 point of damage so that you get credit for the kill and you get some of that bounty money. It has a long-range kill warrant scanner, which scans out to 9 kilometers. So I can scan a target, find out if it has a bounty in another system, or if it already is wanted, scan it, and then if it has more bounties than what is in the local system, it'll basically increase the payout for killing that target for both myself and everybody else on my team. Everything around this ship is built around convenience. It's nice to be able to sit still in one little area and shoot targets 8 kilometers away, draw their aggro, pull them towards you, and anybody that's using collector limpets to gather engineering materials is certainly going to appreciate having all of the debris from the fighting all localized around one area. I've really liked this ship for what I built it for. However, I need a new one. I need a new Federal Corvette because after I've moved away from farming money in the game, because I had more than enough money for everything I needed, I found myself using this ship for solo play. And it's not that effective. You know, the healing lasers do 10% less damage than regular ones would, and I can't use them on myself. Being able to shoot targets 8 kilometers away isn't really that helpful when you don't need to worry about getting credit for a kill. You're the only one killing everything, right? So you might as well just have more up close, high damage. It doesn't really have this build that I'm planning is going to have more utility in it for myself and helping myself kill my targets. So on a Federal Corvette, you've got 2 small weapon mounts, and those weapon mounts don't actually contribute that much to the damage. You've got 2 huge weapon mounts on the top, and that's where the bulk of your damage comes from. So I'm putting multi-cannons on the huge, one multi-cannon on the 1 large hard point, multi-cannons on the mediums, and then on the 2 small mounts, I'm going to have 1 fragment cannon with drag drive munitions. So what that means is when I shoot at a target with that cannon, it will slow the target down substantially. Just makes them easier to hit. And then the other small mount will have a railgun with feedback cascade. And feedback cascade basically negates shield cell banks. If you haven't played Elite Dangerous, that's like a health potion in an RPG. It's like somebody drinking a health potion. You're basically just shooting at the health potion and breaking it before they get a chance to drink it. That's what feedback cascade essentially does. It stops them from healing their shields. All of the other weapons are multi-cannons. And the reason is because, in my experience, multi-cannons are an excellent primary weapon. It's like your bread and butter. It's like your meat and potatoes. It's your basic weapon that is great for your primary weapon. They're very versatile, and you can get a variety of good engineering effects. So I said it has 2 huge mounts on it. One huge mount is going to be Corrosive Shell multi-cannon. The Corrosive Shell engineering effect reduces your total ammo capacity by a small percentage, and the huge mounts on the Federal Corvette are the last mounts to run out of ammo. So reducing the ammo capacity on one huge turret effectively makes it a little more balanced. By the time you run out of ammo with your mediums or your small mounts, you're more likely to also run out of ammo with the huge mount as well. So it kind of makes it a little more balanced. The other huge amount is going to be incendiary rounds, which converts, I think, 90% of the kinetic damage on the multi-cannons into thermal damage, which helps with taking down shields. All of the multi-cannons will be overcharged. So there's no increased range or increased rate of fire. You know, I don't want to use increased rate of fire because I want to be able to stay in the combat zone for a long time. So overcharge weapons increase your damage output by, I think, 70%. Let's go ahead and take a look. I'll pull up the build right here. Overcharged gives you, 70% increased damage output with the small reduction in your ammunition. A little more distributor draw and thermal load. We don't care about thermal load because these weapons don't generate that much heat. Multi-cannons don't generate a tremendous amount of heat. The other multi-cannons are going to follow the same suites, kind of a spread between incendiary and the last one down here is emissive. The reason I'm picking emissive on that multi-cannon is because I want to have a pretty good damage profile of close to 50-50 kinetic and thermal, and as you can see here, I have exactly that 50-50 thermal kinetic damage spread. Mind you, this is taking into account the railgun and the fragment cannon, which I'm only going to use once in a while. They're not really there to deal damage. They're just there to kind of help out. But emissive allows the multi-cannon to continue to do full kinetic damage. And what it does is it makes it so that the target, their heat signature is expanded. What I found in a lot of my combat scenarios is that every once in a while a target is going to drop a heat sink or maybe go into silent running or something, and they basically become untargetable. I can't target them anymore. My multi-cannons lose their gimbal lock on them. And that's kind of annoying, so this can help negate that. And, you know, there's room for an experimental effect on there, so why not? I just threw it in there for a little extra utility. So there's actually a lot of utility in this. I think I forgot to mention that corrosive shell, what that does is it reduces the target's armor by a little bit, and that just makes it so that you have better armor penetration and better damage. I'm not sure if armor penetration is the right word here, but just better damage on all your other weapons. Let's talk about the defenses on this thing. So we've got a bi-weave shield generator. Bi-weave shields sacrifice total capacity for faster regeneration rate. And what we're trying to do is sustain ourselves for a long time in a high intensity combat zone. Now, this might be a mistake. I don't know, but I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try using a bi-weave shield generator. And I'm basically going to not freak out if the shields go down because I have a respectable amount of armor underneath of that. So here's the armor values underneath of this. As you can see, they're pretty close to the shields, but it should be enough, I think, where if the shields go down, I can hold myself off of my armor. I can contain or sustain myself in the fight just with the armor for the shields to come back up again. So we'll see how that works out. I've equipped an auto field maintenance unit to repair my modules as they take damage. My modules have 84% protection, so 84% of the damage that the modules take gets redirected towards these module reinforcement packages. I've got one right here and I've got one right there. And I can repair those module reinforcement packages with this auto field maintenance unit. I have a collector limpet because I am running out of engineering materials, and it's good to just stay topped up on it. I mean, if you're blowing ships up, you might as well collect that stuff as you go, and one cargo rack to hold a respectable amount of limpets. I'm a little worried about the shield generator. That's the biggest thing I'm concerned about with this fight. Now, in these conflict zones, which I'm going to be taking this ship into, you have allies and you have enemies. And what you can do is protect yourself from taking too much damage by just using your allies as meat shields or as ship shields. You hide behind them, they get started in the fight, and then you get in there and you start shooting down after the fight has gotten started, and you don't stray too far from your allies, because if you fly headfirst into a pack of enemies, you are going to die unless you have some ridiculously engineered ship and incredibly good piloting skills. And some people will go, oh, you don't have to have incredibly good piloting skills. Just think about the perspective. If you put 3,000 hours into the game or something like that, then you probably have really good piloting skills. But anyway, it's better to stick with your teammates in these conflict zones so you don't take the full force and the full heat from your enemies. So that's what I'm going to plan on doing as well. Everything else in here is very straightforward and very simple. Long range, D-rated sensors. and a distributor that's charge enhanced, thrusters that have dirty grade. I don't know if I'll go with thermal spread. I might actually change that. And an armored power plant and just heavy armor. So I'm looking forward to trying this out. I'm hoping that this build works out well. This is going to be a big improvement, I think, regardless of how well this works out. I think it will be a significant improvement over using my utility support ship, as you can see in the background here. And I look forward to seeing how fast this murder machine that I'm about to build will take down targets in assassination missions, and when I take down certain massacre missions. I take sometimes massacre missions that pay 50 million credits, and you have to kill 30 targets, and every single one of those targets seems to have engineered shields and stuff and is really tanky and fast, and you need to have a lot of DPS to take them out. But anyway, that's it for today. Later today, I'm probably going to have my Oculus headset, and I may end up wearing that Oculus headset while I go about buying all the components and engineering this ship, and that'll be a good way to get started with familiarizing myself with it. I'm still using keyboard and mouse, and I may end up getting some work pretty soon here, and that may enable me to buy a HOTAS, a hands-on throttle and stick. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're playing Elite Dangerous and you'd like to get involved in background simulation stuff, and or you'd like to learn piracy, or you'd like to teach me higher level piracy and how to get more money out of your pirating targets or get better targets, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.